In the news this week, a decade of service, a special video message from Premier Mark McGowan as WAMN News reaches a major milestone.
How can we do better? The McGowan government launches a pandemic review to seek improvement in health management. Gong Xi Fai Chai, Chinese New Year celebrations set to hit the streets of Perth. And later, Dr. Andrew Miller's comment.
This is The Evening News with Ivan Loon and Maliva Thorne.
Good evening. WAMN News has reached a major milestone this week as we celebrate a decade of local news service for Perth and Western Australia. We begin tonight's news broadcast with a video message from WA Premier Mark McGowan, followed by Liberal leader David Honey.
Congratulations to the West Australasian Media Network for achieving what is a major milestone, your 10th anniversary. That's a decade of supporting independent local journalism, and of course, a decade of supporting local jobs. Since WAMN News was founded on January 19, 2013, the network has since grown exponentially. In 2021, WAMN won the WA Government's Multicultural Awards Communications category for its service to the community. I encourage the Western Australian community to continue to support independent local news sources like WAMN News. Community media provides a valuable contribution to our society. So can I acknowledge Ivan Leung, Madeline Lombardi, Maliva Thorne, Michael Connor, and the many other reporters past and present for their hard work in community journalism. And can I again congratulate the team at WAMN News on achieving your 10-year milestone.
Hi Ivan, the WAMN team and viewers. Happy birthday. Congratulations on achieving 10 years of quality independent news in Western Australia. You know, having an independent news service that's unfiltered is a critical part of our democracy in the state. It helps get the message out for all sides of politics, not just one side. It's really something that's actually critical for our democracy. So I'm really happy that you've achieved this great milestone, and I'm looking forward to another 10 years of quality independent news through the WAMN team. Happy birthday.
That was Premier Mark McGowan and Liberal leader David Honey. Well, you've heard that correct. This week marks the 10th anniversary of WAMN News, which began its independent news service on the 19th of January 2013. In fact, we've done a mini cake cutting ceremony with our supporters during the WAMN Extra News Club Sundowner event a few weeks ago. WAMN News reached 2.2 million people in 2020. And if that's not high enough, we reached 8.8 million people in 2021. These figures are what many independent news operators dreamed of, and we've achieved them thanks to your support. So many young and talented people came through the doors, past and including Nelson Liu, we love Nelson, Daniel Staniskov, who anchored this program with me for 7 years, the one and only Sarah Smith, the talented Taylor Hanna, Kit Sanders, Cassandra Elliott, Luke Derrick, Steve Anderson, who is on vacation and returning soon, yourselves, Melly and Maddie. And there's just too many people to thank, too many people to mention. This has been a labor of love, and we loved every minute of it. Independent journalism has come a long way in Western Australia. And if you want to do some time traveling and look at some of the programs report for the last 10 years, please go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WAMNAU. You can watch all the programs for the last 10 years. In fact, you can go as far as you like, all the way back in 2013. Now, may I also use this opportunity to encourage you to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnews.com.au/news/extra. Support independent journalism and keep democracy strong. And with your support, we can go a long way. Well, it has been a wonderful journey, and we endeavour to continue our service, and we'll have more to say in the next few weeks. The Big 10, they say. And now with more news, here's Melly.
The McGowan government has announced a review of its response during the pandemic, with an emphasis on examining the areas for improvement. Former Barnett Government Health Minister John Day will be appointed as one of the panel members, with the Premier promising the review to be open and transparent.
With the state of emergency now behind us, it's critical that we take the opportunity to reflect on the lessons of the pandemic and provide learnings for future generations. It's important we get the settings right to ensure the state is prepared for future pandemics. That is why today we're announcing the panel of experts to review Western Australia's COVID-19 management and response. You might recall I committed to this in December or November of last year. 3 experts who are highly experienced and independent. They are the Honourable John Day, Emeritus Professor Margaret Sears, and Dr. Michael Shaper. John Day was the Liberal member for Darling Range and Kalamunda from 1993 to 2017, who served as Health Minister not once but twice, first in the Court government and then in the Barnett government for a total of 12 years. He's currently the Chairman of the Board of the State Library, a member of the Art Gallery of WA, an Honorary Fellow of the Planning Institute of Australia. He's actually quite a qualified dentist. Professor Sears is currently an independent reviewer for the State Government's Agency Capability Review Program, Chair of the Salaries and Allowances Tribunal, previously Chief Executive of the WA Department of the Arts, Chair of the Australia Council, and a member of the Australian Research Council's Advisory Council. Dr. Shaper is a previous Deputy Chair of the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission and has recently completed an Agency Capability Review for the State Government's Agency Capability Review Program, with another underway. He's currently a National Board Member of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, a Board Member of the Gaming and Wagering Commission, and Chair of the Board of Energy and Water Ombudsman WA. This independent review will focus on the state's pandemic plans and preparedness, government programs and processes to support the health response, including testing, free rapid antigen tests and the vaccination rollout, intergovernmental communication and cooperation, community support, engagement and public health communication, and the effectiveness of public health levers, including border control measures on health outcomes.
It is important to take the opportunity to learn the lessons. Should we meet the same circumstances again and find ourselves managing another pandemic of a similar scale? The appointees bring a wealth of public sector experience and, importantly, ministerial experience. John Day has been both Police Minister and Health Minister, and will provide a really good overview for us to take as a blueprint moving forward. It's important also that we thank our healthcare workers, the Department of Health, the State Health Incident Control Centre, our hospital service providers, hospitals, WA Police, Department of Communities, and all of the public sector that has pulled together and worked to provide such an outstanding response.
This week marks the first court appearance of the 3 people accused of murdering young Cassius Turvey. 15-year-old Cassius was assaulted in Middle Swan in October last year and died as a result of the injuries he suffered. A 20-year-old woman from Herney Hill, a 24-year-old man from Chidlow, and a 27-year-old man from Windawi each faced the Perth Magistrates Court on Friday morning. Their cases were all adjourned to the 29th of March, with each of the co-accusers to face the Stirling Gardens Magistrates Court individually on the day.
Australia Day is coming next Thursday, and this year's message from the Australian Government is to reflect, respect and celebrate the spirit of community. The Albanese Government has worked on making Australia Day events more inclusive and accessible to all Australians. This year there will be citizenship ceremonies in the morning across the city, followed by smaller scale fireworks along the city's foreshore near Langley Park.
I think a national day, the intention of a national day is to bring our country together, not to push people apart. And I would like to see as many Australians come together as is possible. That's what the public holiday is for, to give people the opportunity to come together respectfully.
Chinese New Year celebrations will be approaching next Sunday, with major festivities to be held at Northbridge. This year is the Year of the Rabbit, meaning longevity, peace, hope and prosperity. WA's oldest Chinese community organisation, the Changhua Association, will be hosting celebration parades and stores in Yagan Square, James Street and Lake Street in Northbridge, followed by a multicultural concert and performance in the evening to entertain the community.
This year is the 12th Perth Chinese New Year Fair. We started in 2012 during Australian-China Cultural Year. Now, this event is becoming a more significant event in our multicultural society.
Police attended the Art Gallery of Western Australia in response to a disturbance when one of Australia's most treasured paintings was allegedly vandalised. Joanna Partika, a ceramic artist and an illustrator from Perth, spray-painted a Woodside logo stencil in yellow over an iconic Australian painting, Down on His Luck, then proceeded to glue her hand to the wall of the gallery. The act was done in protest of Woodside's ongoing defilement of sacred Mununjugo rock art at the Burrup Hub, Australia's biggest new fossil fuel project. The artist is demanding no more industry on the Burrup. The action that took place was the launch of the campaign Disrupt Burrup Hub, targeting Woodside. WA Liberal leader Dr David Honey said although people have the right to protest, acts of vandalism is where a clear line must be drawn. State Security Investigation Group detectives have charged a 37-year-old Northbridge woman with 1 count of criminal damage. She is due to appear in the Perth Magistrates Court on the 16th of February.
And now here's AMA WA spokesman Dr Andrew Miller with his weekly COVID-19 update and medical commentary.
Hi, thanks for your time and congratulations to WAMN News on reaching a 10-year anniversary milestone. Ivan, for you and all your work, thank you so much, and for all the people who worked with you over those years, thank you for always bringing an interesting perspective, a thoughtful perspective, a local way of looking at things, which I think is really important somewhere like Perth, and for your integrity, for presenting things in an honest, straight up and down manner, not looking for unnecessary sensation amongst things, but having the concern of the community, the people who consume the news that you deliver, first and foremost in your thinking. So you have my admiration and respect for all the work you've done over the last 10 years. Thanks so much. On the COVID side of things, we're continuing to be concerned that the government is not paying sufficient attention to those who are suffering, and unfortunately to those particularly in aged care who don't have the protections that they need, to those who are going to hospital only to catch this disease from other people. And we'll continue to put forward a message that prevention is better than cure, that stopping the transmission to prevent the long COVID, to prevent little kids from getting it, and to prevent all of the contribution to other diseases that we can see is going to be the way forward. So stay safe out there. And once again, Ivan, to you and your team, thanks so much.
That was Dr Andrew Miller. We'll recap this week's top stories again in just a moment.
But right now, here's Madeline Lombardi with Western Perspective. Happy Chinese New Year, Maddie.
Happy Chinese New Year, Ivan and Melly. Welcome to Western Perspective. I'm Madeline Lombardi. Chinese New Year has officially arrived, and it's a significant festival for Perth's multicultural residents, especially the Asian community. For more than a decade, Western Australia has been celebrating Chinese New Year with a grand festival in Northbridge, with stalls, parades, lion and dragon dances, and the mid-evening multicultural performance to entertain the public. WA's oldest Chinese community organisation, the Changhua Association's Honorary Secretary, Jenny Chong, speaks to us about the significance of the Year of the Rabbit.
Jenny Chong, Gong Xi Fa Cai, Happy New Year to you. So next Sunday is the Chinese New Year Festival. It's been going on for over a decade now.
Hi Ivan, Gong Xi Fa Cai. Yes, this will be the 12th year that we're having the Perth Chinese New Year Fair in Northbridge, and this year we're actually coming back to our home in James Street. So the whole street will be filled with stalls, activities, lion and dragon dancing, and it's a free, fun family event for everyone.
So last year you moved to the cultural centre, but this year you moved back on the street. What's the reason for that?
So the reason for that, we just wanted the street atmosphere, and we felt it was more festive back on the street. So that's why we moved back. And actually this year we've moved into Yagan Square in collaboration with Development WA. So that's a whole new setting for us as well.
Very interesting move indeed. Yagan Square has always been a bit of a centre point of controversy, if you knew it. Do you believe that it will be a good move? Is it a wise move to Yagan Square?
Yes, I think it's a really good idea that we are moving into Yagan Square just to reach out to a wider audience and a different location. So I think it'll be really good.
All right, you've got to give me one of your personal favourite performances.
My personal favourite performance this year would be our Chunghwa Lion Dance troupe. So that's a performance not to be missed.
And of course, don't try this at home because these people are professionally trained in martial arts, and that's why they have the capability to do so. Anything else that the family should be looking forward to apart from the nighttime concerts?
So we also have free children's activities, face painting, making lanterns out of red packets. Also, we've got you have to look out for the roving characters, the roving rabbits, who'll be giving out lucky red packets during the day.
The Year of the Rabbit is this year's theme. What does it mean and what does it signals?
Well, the Year of the Rabbit, after the tumultuous year that we've had with the Year of the Tiger, so the Year of the Rabbit brings more hope and prosperity, sort of a new beginning for everyone.
Now, personally, this has been over a decade, not just for yourself, but for the Chunghwa Association. In fact, it's been going very, very strong indeed. Most people, overall, the unity of celebrating it all together has been fantastic, and things have going out without fail, except for COVID. So, are you hoping to achieve record numbers this year?
Yes, we're hoping to achieve record numbers. We hear that there's going to be good weather, so hopefully everyone can come out. We've not so many restrictions this year.
All right. Apart from your personal favourite, the Chunghwa Lion Dance Crew, what about the nighttime performances? Anything to look out for?
Well, the nighttime performances, this year we have some Russian dancers, so that's going to be really good, and also a new band as well that we're showcasing.
So, Jenny Chong, thank you for joining us, and we wish you a very successful Chinese New Year fair, and we'll speak to you again on the day for the Sunday news service.
Yes, speak to you soon. Gong xi fa chai.
One set to go.
And you can enjoy the Chinese New Year festivities in Northbridge between 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. this coming Sunday, the 29th of January. We'll have full coverage on the event as per usual, and now I'm here with Leo Puglisi with what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thanks, guys. On 6 News, Chris Hipkins confirmed as New Zealand's new Prime Minister following Jacinda Ardern's resignation. Qantas defends its safety record following a series of incidents. And New South Wales Labor on track to win the state election, according to the latest polling. You can watch live right now on our YouTube channel and our website, 6newsau.com. For now, though, guys, it is back to you.
Thanks, Leo. Before we go, a brief weather update. WA is heading in for a scorcher at the start of the week with 34 degrees on Monday, 32 on Tuesday, 31 on Wednesday, and on public holiday day, Thursday, and a drop down to 27 on Friday night. Nighttime temperatures are expected to drop from 21 degrees on Monday down to 17 degrees on Friday night, a nice and comfortable way to end the week. And that's Western Perspective for this weekend. I'll be back next Sunday, and until then, Ivan and Melly, it's back to you.
Thanks, Maddie. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Don't forget to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly and myself, wish you good health, good night. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching.